And cassava production still exists in many of our communities. And increasingly, because of the concern of flour, that is imported wheat flour, and the content of that flour, increasingly in places like Dominica, the European Union is helping to fund Kalinago producers of cassava to manufacture enough flour, cassava bread, and whatever to be able to feed people. And it's an extremely popular source. The greeters, for instance, and the names of all the objects related to cassava production are very important. The making of what we call in Dominica cassava, or in Jamaica they call them bami. I don't know what you all call them here. Bam. You see, you get the same sort of thing. So all of these are extremely important aspects that have come down to us. And the cassava farine, the flour, that you would like to sprinkle on an avocado pear when you're eating it. It's a very popular thing. And the kai platin, as it is called in the French Creole, the house where the cassava is produced and where the different parts of the production take place in that cassava house. All of these are relative to understanding that indigenous culture. Baskets, panniers, of course in St. Vincent, they were widely used. Here again, I'm using an example from South America, but these baskets are produced today in Dominica. Here is someone in Dominica producing a watertight basket, because if you are traveling around in a canoe and waves are coming at you, whatever you are carrying, you wanted it to be waterproof. In the days before plastic, they would use these different layers with heliconia leaves in between to protect them from water. They said they can float, at least for a little time, because of the way that they are constructed. And the laruma, the kind of reed from which those baskets are produced. There are a lot of old photographs of St. Vincent with the Kalinago, Garifuna people up in the north making a wide variety of baskets. And it is that knowledge not only of how to make the basket, but the product where it comes from and the method of preparing that natural resource to make the basket. All of this is important information to be researched. And we see these baskets in those paintings. If you look in these paintings, you'll see there's a carrot basket in a Creole historic scene in these two pictures. And certain types of palms, and the way in which you use those palms for tourism products, for instance. The latanier palm used for making table mats, baskets, and rooms. And the backpack. In Dominica, we call it a content or a catoli. Catoli is the indigenous name. And farmers, some farmers, and particularly Rastas, they still like to use their content, catoli, to carry their products. But when we look at those two paintings down below, one by Breton in the 1760s here in St. Vincent, and the other of a Garifuna couple by an artist called Cummins in 1810, we see the way in which the women actually carried it on their backs. And there is a young lady who is going to be producing a paper tomorrow about Garifuna women and liberation and all that kind of stuff. I would be very interested to hear it, because different visitors to the Garifuna and Kalinago community said that really the women were worked from morning to night. The responsibilities of food production and everything were quite intense. So through these paintings, once again, you're getting an understanding. And then comparing it to what exists today. These guys, for instance, ceremoniously carrying these backpacks that are made of woven palm leaves. And on top of all of this, we then get the African arrivals. So